We made it. It has been 5 weeks of spending just $25 on groceries. And let me tell you, it has been a serious eye-opener. I used to shop for $100 a week in groceries no matter what. And as you can see, this is how my fridge, freezer, and pantry all look like when I first got started on this challenge. I have done a couple weeks before without going to the grocery store, but I knew it could go longer. And this time I really just set my mind to it that I would get it done. So I made a lot of creative things and just thought outside the box, a lot of different meal options. And I'm really happy to say that I definitely could have gone another week or two, but I am going to be increasing my budget right now to about $50 to $75 a week. We'll see how it goes. I'm leaning towards $50. But of course, I had a lot of bagels and waffles for breakfast this week. And our first dinner of the week was one of my favorite freezer meals. It was Southwestern chicken and rice, but I used turkey instead this time. The key to this one is just prepping your rice ahead of time and having some pre-cooked chicken, either rotisserie chicken or turkey that you've already cooked beforehand, and just having that all thrown together with the can of beans, some canned corn, and your favorite salsa. That's the key, your favorite salsa, because that will make a difference. And we just did cumin. I'm sharing this with my kids, and they are not too keen on spicy things yet, but definitely add as many seasonings as you'd like. I'd recommend anything like chili powder, cayenne, anything along those lines. And maybe don't make the mistake of putting it in a tiny dish like I did. I don't know what I just did. I never seem to pick out the right size container. So mix it all up. You can do it in a bowl in advance and then put it in a casserole dish. Top it with your favorite cheese. I like a Mexican blend, but all we had was some cheddar, sliced cheddar actually, that I just sliced even further into tiny little pieces. And the key really with serving this one is in the toppings. I usually do some chips and some avocado, but it's really good with some fresh grape tomatoes that have been sliced and some sour cream or even Greek yogurt if that's what you have on hand. And oh my goodness, it is so delicious. And if you want to freeze this one, don't bake it. Just mix it all together, cover it with some wax paper and then some foil and label date, and put it in the freezer for up to about 3 months, and it'll be perfectly fine. And then you're just going to cook that from frozen. So I'll have the recipe down in the description for you. So we had a coupon at Vons this week, so we got bananas, strawberries, and cream cheese, and I had a $5 off when you spend $5, so the total was 99 cents for all of this, to save a little bit more room in the budget. My incredible neighbor brought us pho for one of the nights, and so I didn't have to end up cooking dinner at all for that second night, so I'm super grateful. And of course, for breakfast was bagels. Okay, so we spent 25 bucks and 4 cents. We went back to the organic milk. We just like the way it tastes better. Then we got some of the Mexican style cheese. This one was on sale. I'm gonna use this for a few different dishes. Got some coleslaw for egg roll in a bowl, some zucchini, grape tomatoes, green onions. These were like 50 cents for all these, and I can regrow them. I'm gonna have green onions forever. I use Greek yogurt instead of sour cream for a lot of things, so I can use that for a lot of different things. And eggs. Got some yellow onions, a lime, an avocado, and then some more of these drinks that the kids love. Also got one thing of ice cream too for 99 cents for a little treat. Love it. So really good this week, and we still have some fruit. And yeah, let's see how it goes. As soon as we got eggs in the house, we had to boil some up. And my son does not like the yolks very much. So instead of throwing them to the dogs, I made a little egg salad for myself with crackers. I just do mayo and some mustard. I love mustard, so I go a little heavy on the mustard, and a little bit of salt and pepper. And then I just mash that up with a fork and put it on some crackers. And I had that with a little bit of fruit, and that was my lunch for that day. So getting a little bit creative. And with all that romaine, we had a salad to start for dinner, and we had some leftover Southwestern turkey and rice. So we just topped that with some new toppings, and it was delicious. And just to give you a picture of what my kids eat, I noticed that I wasn't really showing you that. This is what a kid's meal looks like in our house usually. And for breakfast, I love Greek yogurt with some granola. So I grabbed this granola way out of the back of my pantry, threw that in there and topped it with some of my favorite raw honey, and just, oh my gosh, so good. I love this kind of breakfast. So delicious and filling. And for dinner this night, you are not going to believe this one. I hope you try this one because it's loaded sweet potato fries. And don't even get me started. I didn't even know that I liked sweet potatoes until maybe a year or two ago. I don't know where I've been. But this recipe is so easy, and you can make it vegetarian if you like. So you're just going to peel and slice those sweet potatoes into sort of a fry shape, and you can make it however wide or thin as you like fries. It's just going to make your cooking time vary a little bit in the oven. Just preheat the oven to 425 degrees. And then once you've got these all sliced into fries, you're going to throw them into a mixing bowl. And I use avocado oil a lot lately, but you can use olive oil or any oil that you prefer. Just coat that really well, and then you're going to start seasoning. Salt and pepper for sure, and for us, we do chili powder, but the kids don't like chili powder, so usually we'll separate out some of the fries after the salt and pepper and just bake those separate, and then continue to season with the chili powder for me and my husband. And after that, you're just going to throw them in the oven at the 425 degrees for about 30 to 45 minutes, depending on how thick you've made your fries, and keep a close eye. After about 15 minutes, you're going to want to sort of toss them and rotate them because the ones on the edges will start to get a little bit too cooked. And after you've done that, just put them in for the remainder of the time and just keep a close eye because, you know, if they burn, that happens pretty quickly with sweet potatoes. I personally don't mind a little bit of burnt pieces on my sweet potatoes, but you may not like them like that. So it just depends on your preference. My kids absolutely love these fries, by the way. We don't do the loaded version for my kids. We just do the salt and pepper and then serve them with ketchup. So if you're ever looking for an alternative for fries, just try sweet potatoes once. I'm not kidding. It is so delicious, and you probably won't want to go back to regular fries. So I'm just putting them over here on the tray, and I'll use sweet potatoes any day. I feel like they're really easy to work with, and they just taste really delicious and go really well with anything. So if you haven't tried them before, I highly recommend. So again, to really elevate the dish this time, it's really in the toppings. So I had some grape tomatoes and I quartered them. You can just have them if you like. I just prefer to quarter them so I have more of my bites as I'm eating. And I grabbed some cilantro from the garden and got that all chopped up really finely. I didn't have a ton, so I just grabbed whatever we had. And then I grabbed some of those green onions and sliced those really thinly. If you find scallions, that'll work too. I also saved the bottom of my green onion, put it in water so I can regrow it. They regrow so fast. I mean, within like 10 days, you'll have brand new green onions. I mean, it's crazy how fast it is. Next, I'm going to prepare the lime yogurt sauce. So all it is the Greek yogurt and some lime juice and fresh garlic. But you could use the jarred garlic if that's all you have, or even garlic paste. Or if you don't like garlic, you can skip it entirely. Or if you don't have lime, you can skip that too. Honestly, the Greek yogurt tastes a lot like sour cream to me. And if you haven't tried that as a substitute, definitely try that because it's mind-blowing, honestly. And I grabbed the brisket from the freezer. I was going to actually make something else for this, but I just decided, hey, let's just do brisket instead since it's already in the freezer. But of course I had to heat it, so I just threw it in the pan there. Awesome pan. It's amazing. It's from Aldi. And added the beans to it so it could get all nice and hot. If you're not using meat, you don't need to cook the beans. You can just put them from the can onto the cooked fries when you're loading them because you're going to throw them back in the oven to melt the cheese and all of that jazz. So you can do that later as well. So you can see my little burnt pieces. I like them like that. So if you don't like it, just keep a close eye. So just going to put a little layer of fries, top it with your beans and your meat if you have those in the cheese, put them back in the oven and melt it. Put your toppings on top. And that's it. Super easy. And this one's going to blow your mind, I'm telling you. Oh yeah, don't forget the avocado. If you have avocado, definitely got to add that. You can either just dice it or cube it or smash it, make guacamole, whatever you like. Seriously, incredible. On the note of incredible recipes, this one was not so good, so I'm not going to share it. I don't know what I was thinking. But anyway, I make mistakes here and there. It was not great. We still ate it. But, you know, I'm regrowing the romaine lettuce as well. So those are currently in water and growing. I'll keep you updated on that in the coming weeks, too, to see how that goes and if I put it in the garden. And then we went to Disneyland for the last day of the week and, of course, enjoyed a lot of goodies there because that's one reason why we're saving money on the budget, so we can spend a little at Disneyland. And here's what everything looks like now. And so now you can kind of see why I could probably go another week. I do have a lot of pasta on hand, not a whole lot of stuff in the fridge, but I did still have plenty of produce at the end of this week. Didn't have much cheese left. And I also randomly found 2 whole pork shoulders at the bottom of my deep freezer. So there's definitely some possibilities, but I really appreciate y'all joining me for this journey. And I'm really excited to do this again in a couple of months. So stay tuned and have a wonderful day.